Hey, Sherkinna Hammond. Welcome to the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. How are you today?
I am well. How are you?
Good. How's business? How are you?
Business is amazing. It is booming. I am busy, but I'm grateful in the busyness.
Okay. Well, first of all, tell me who you are and what you do.
Okay. For those who do not know me, my name is Sherkinna Hammond. I am a personal branding and lifestyle photographer based here in Richmond, Virginia. I do travel, but that is my home base. I help entrepreneurs, small business owners get their images for their websites, their social media, their marketing materials. I am your go to girl when it comes to images for your business.
So, have you always been a photographer?
Whew, okay. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
So I have not always been a photographer. I learned photography early on in high school in the dark room with film, right? And so as
Wow. Oh, that's old school. So, are you an OG? We like OGs at the Academy. That means you're OG. And the young people are like, dark room, film.
for the young folks, we had film we had to place into the camera, right? We had to wind it up when we took a picture. There was no settings, right? And so we had to develop our photos. We didn't know what they looked like until we got into a very dark room, right? All black. And we
Hmm.
develop them, and that's when we see our images. That's when we know the exposure and all those things. So that's how I basically learned photography.
Wow.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
So, and you always took pictures. So you were always the picture taker of the group wherever you were, or
Yes and no. So my business is S.Helena Photography. My
hmm
mom has a twin. My mom is Helen, and my aunt, who is my who my mom's twin, her name is Helena. And so I'm
hmm
named after my aunt Helena. They are picture people. They have all the photos, all the albums.
wow.
And so that's how I kind of wanted to get involved because I was like, we need more pictures in the family. Let me be the one to take all the pictures. So that was me.
So was the class in high school like an elective or?
So I was in a magnet school in high school, and that was one of the magnets was art. So of course you had to do your preliminary, drawing, painting things. And photography came up for the next session. I was like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh wow. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. I love
Yes.
it. So you said so before photography became a business, you were an entrepreneur before then.
Right. So before I became a actual business, I had a catering business, right? And so that went really well. I did that for about 2 years, and then that became it wasn't my love, it wasn't my passion, right? So as much as I love to cook and serve the people and for them to tell me the food tastes amazing, it wasn't where my heart was. And so I decided to dissolve that business and just cook at home. But I said, "You know what? I'm going to pick up photography on the side just to take pictures, get some, graduation photos for people, family photos." And then I learned about personal brand photography, and that changed the game.
So I would like to talk just as a teaching point for our listeners about so I guess one lesson that we've gotten already from you is that you don't have to do the same thing forever. Just
Absolutely.
try something, do it for a while, make some money, and you can do it forever. I think sometimes people just feel like they're gonna. That's why they don't start because they think they're building some monument.
Child, tell them again.
So how is she sipping?
I am sipping. I want to tell the people who think that business is business, right? The foundation of the business is always going to be the same, right? You still gonna have to know how to track your expenses. You're still gonna have to do your marketing. The business is different, but the foundation is the same. So if this doesn't work out, you take what you learn from here, sprinkle it on over here to the next thing, and you keep it moving until you find what sparks you up and makes you feel alive, right? So you don't want
And even for the season, because that might even change.
right.
So you have to be comfortable with change,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I'm glad that we stopped just to talk about that because I feel like some people, even when it's like choosing a logo or brand colors, people like they're making it like a monument. I'm like, just pick something.
Yes.
And I was even talking to someone about brand. Our most famous brand logos are very simple. The swoosh, the LV. It's just an L and a V. Literally,
Yes.
it's a L. Louis Vuitton is literally a L and a V.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So people are trying to build these monuments because they think that's their baby, but
Hmm.
it just might be a step in the process.
Yep.
So okay. So let's fast forward. You did catering. How did you transition and how did you let people know? And did they get mad at you? Did they try to hire you for the old thing? But how did you cut people off and move people to the new thing?
So when I would get inquiries about catering, they were still emailing. I would say, I'm no longer doing catering. However, here's some recommendations, right? Because what you don't want to do is treat people as though they're not important to you when they're trying to support your
Mhm.
business. And so I would say, hey, I know these folks still do catering, so if you're interested, they may be able to help. But I didn't really transition because they were two different. I transitioned, but they were two different audiences, right? So
Oh,
my
got
catering
you.
people were more of like family functions, graduation, things. But my photography people, I created a whole new social media platform, right? And so I took, instead of using my personal platform, I created a business platform on Instagram and Facebook. And so my people who were my friends, I would let them know, hey, go and follow my business page. Go and check
So
out
it was
my
very
website.
intentional.
Yes,
When you knew you were doing the photography brand, you were very intentional
yes.
with drawing. So are the logo, the colors, everything is different.
Totally different colors, totally different logos, totally different messaging. That is huge when it comes to messaging for your business. So your target audience is totally different. You're catering to these people here, and I'm no longer, I know catering, no pun on words, y'all, but you're catering to a subset of people here when it comes to photography. That's totally different from catering. Um, the price range is different, so you're gonna have different folks, right? Um,
But you know what? I think that the mistake that some people make is they keep trying to sell to the same people.
mhm.
So they keep pushing like I'm what like and you're like, what is she doing now? Because they really don't understand that you have to go build your audience.
Yes.
And then it's not, I'm gonna say this really slow. Let's have a moment of silence. Your friends and family ain't supposed to support your business. Mr. Walmart ain't got enough family to come shop and no. You're supposed to build something that people want and need in the marketplace. So stop hounding your family to buy your stuff. Maybe if they choose to, that's on them. But that is not their obligation.
So my 2 cents on that is always our friends and our family know what we offer, right? Because we talk to them about it, right? So when they're ready and they need you, they will come. Don't hound them. If they need
Amen.
photos, if they need food, if they need products, they know exactly what you sell. They will come to you when they need you. So you want to get outside of that because sometimes with our friends and our family, there's a personal love connection there, obligation, and it makes it hard. Money gets involved, contracts get involved, and it's just easier to separate the two.
Which is a great transition here because this is why you need branding because you're not going to always be talking to people that you know.
Yep.
So we're not so that little front row of the church is not your business. That's not your target audience. That's your mama and them. So let's talk about the importance of branding for your business. So one we've established because you're going to be presenting to people who don't know
Mhm.
you organically
Yeah.
necessary. And so and I want to talk about really too how you came up with the brand and the name of your business. Was it a long drawn out process? Are you kind of new? Because I think some people get stuck there. Because I wouldn't know who Helena is. I wouldn't know.
So for me, it was kind of easy because I knew I wanted my name to be involved. I'm very proud that my mom named me after my aunt, and I love her. And I know she's proud of me because she tells me all the time. But I wanted to involve both of them in the name, right? I wanted it to be meaningful. I didn't want to just say, "This is Keena's photography. This is Sherkinna's photography." I wanted it to be a story, right? So that's the main thing. You want to create your story when you're creating your business, whether even with your logo, if you think about it, sometimes with people logo, it's simple, but it has a meaning behind that simplicity. And
So is the meaning to the owner or is the meaning to the customer?
the
Which
meaning should be to the owner because
gotcha.
we're going to share our story with our audience. That connects us. So people buy from people, right? You don't want
Mhm.
to just sell, sell, sell. You want to show who you are. You want to pull out your personality. So as you're sharing that story, you're building a connection there.
So I guess I'm hearing you say, so even in the creation of your business, it should be some joy. So that the name, even before you made one penny a sell.
Yes.
So, and I guess that's going to bleed through when you start to do your presentation and presenting the product or service,
Right.
that there has to be a genuine love. So I guess that leaves out hustles.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, everything that you do should be based on, it doesn't always have to be very passionate and I just love this
Hmm.
forever, because at the end of the day, as business owners, we started our business to make a profit, right?
Mm.
But
Amen.
we have to be connected to our business for us to enjoy it. So yeah, we want the money, but we also want some meaning behind that. We need a connection. People are so emotional, whether they like to say it or not, but there's an emotion behind that business, and that's what you need to create.
So, how important is it for the business owner to be seen? Since you are a photographer, is it hard to get a how important is it, and is it hard to get the owner of the business when they're doing a professional photo shoot to show up genuinely?
Yeah. As I said once before, people buy from people, right? So these
Hmm.
big companies out here, they don't have to show who the CEO is every second because they're huge, right? Nike is huge. All these companies are huge. We're small businesses. So we're building this foundation with our audience. They want to know who you are. They want to know, who am I giving my, let's just say, $1,200 to for this photo shoot? Who am I paying $1,000 to every month to coach me? I just don't want to know, yes, she's providing results, but do I align with her core values, right? Do I
Hmm.
align with her? If she's a faith person, does that align us? If she is a happy person, she believes in peace. All of these things should be incorporated within your photos and should shine through, because people buy from people. They want to know who you are. Can I be honest?
Please be honest.
If I go to a website, if I go to an Instagram page, a Facebook page, any type of social media, and I don't see that person's face, I get a little leery, because I'm like, who
Mm.
am I buying from? Who is this person? And I know a lot of photographers out there, they only show their work. But when it comes to me, you are going to see my face on my page, because I want you to connect with me and not just the work that I have out there. I build relationships.
Because you see it as kind of it's interrelated.
Correct.
It's you are one and the same. The brand, the work, the integrity is a thread throughout. I think
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us about the importance of having professional brand
Here
photos?
we go. Y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
Somebody gonna be mad. There's nothing wrong with your iPhone photos. There's nothing wrong with your cell phone, your iPad. Your little cousin took your picture over there in the corner. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Y'all, I'm gonna be myself. I have to be.
Pause one moment. Why did the little cousin had to take it in the corner? Why couldn't
Hey,
the little cousin might have a sheet or something? But
the
okay.
cousin is doing well. She just getting started. There's nothing wrong with that. However,
Okay.
when you start to offer high ticketed prices, people, your audience is going to expect high ticketed marketing, right? So they don't want to
Mhm.
see, yes, I'm in my office right now, but they don't want to see stuff in the background. They want some clarity on those photos. They want sharpness, they want contrast. And even though if you're not a photographer, you're not thinking of that, but if you see a professional photo compared to a photo on a phone, you're going to tell the difference. You can be like, this person came, okay? They came ready to serve. They are not playing any games. They know what they have in their business. They know what they're ready to offer. And the iPhone folks might not be too ready, right?
Understand, understand. So I think that's an early investment. And one thing I teach in the Plan the Prosper Small Business Academy is that as you're making the little money in the front of the business when you start, first of all, you need to do something to make some money. It can't be 24, 48 months before money comes in.
Yeah.
If you bake a cake, you should have made $7, something off of it. So that's why you can't just keep investing and not have a return, because you need money to do a branding photo shoot, or even if it's I'll pay you for 3 pictures. And I know sometimes you have like this, I don't know what you call it, where
Brand
you set up and
minis.
Yes, the brand minis. So what is a package like that instead? Like what would you get?
So my recommendation to people is when they are at the stage where they're not making a lot of profit, but they're making some profit, right? That they
Mhm.
look for mini sessions. They look for headshot sessions, right? Find those little sales because most photographers have a sale. So for me, I just hosted personal brand minis here in Richmond. That was a 20-minute session. They had, if you were on my email list, you had got 8 photos. If you came a little bit late, you got 5 photos. So always remember,
Ooh,
people sign up for folks' email list. There is a blessing in the email list.
there's a
Okay.
blessing on the email list. I always say that. Yes.
There's a blessing. And so they got that 20-minute session. They got 10 minutes of planning time with me. So they're telling me what they're doing in their business. We're planning out in that 10 minutes what they need to bring with them, what they need to wear, what are their goals going forward. So we can capture that in that 20 minutes. And you use that as a foundation to get you going until that profit
Mhm.
starts to roll in.
So where would you use your branding photos? Where do you need them? Is it just Instagram and social media? Or where would you be sending them, I guess?
Y'all, I love this. Okay. So, your brand photos, you want them on your social media, you want them on your website, and you want them on your marketing materials, right? So, if you have business cards with your picture up there, I know some people get away from that, but if you do, if you have flyers, if you have brochures, your picture should be there, right? I wish I had it in front of me, but I have a brochure of all the different type of branding photos I've taken. So, if I'm around someone, they get to get that, right? And so, if you have email marketing, I'm all about Flowdesk or MailChimp, any of those things. Insert your photo in there, right? If you have your signature block on your email, put that headshot in there. People want to see your face. They want to recognize you, especially if you're a local business. They see your picture, you're out somewhere. They're like, hey, I know who you are. I see your picture,
Wow.
right? So people want to see
Yes.
your face. They want to see who you are.
So that means so with the type of pictures that you're describing, so it can't be just me sitting in my chair, like 10 pictures of me like a statue. So how do we make interesting photos?
You leave that for the photographer, right? So I always tell people branding sessions are not just cute headshots. They are who you are. It is your personality. We pull all of that, your laughter, your smiles, your happiness, things that you love. And so within a planning session, whether you're doing minis or if you're doing a full branding session with me, during this planning session, I'm asking you questions like, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite snack? Where do you like to work? Are you a couch worker? Are you a chair worker, a floor worker? Take all of these different things and you put that into the photo. So instead of you just sitting in a chair looking cute, you may be sitting there with your coffee, your favorite coffee mug, your favorite treat, your laptop computer, your iPad, you're sitting on the floor. All of those things make for a fun photo.
Oh, that reminds me of something because actually, Shakina, if you're looking at this podcast and the picture that you see me in the checkity sweater, that's the work of Miss Sherkinna Hammond. But so you asked me to bring things to the photo shoot,
Right.
and even if you have a photographer that doesn't know that, if you bring this stuff, they're gonna use it. They
Mhm.
might not tell you at the time. So I had a red mug with hearts on it. And so the lady who did a coaching session with me recognized the heart mug because it's really my mug. It's really my mug. And so she's like, "Oh, that was in the picture."
Mhm.
And she said, "Wait a minute." And she went, she said, "Yeah, that's the." I'm like, "Yeah, it was real." I brought my real stuff. Like I brought my stapler because it's all the brand colors.
Yeah.
So she recognized, and this is a small thing. It really didn't. I mean, I set up her accounting and stuff, but she made the connection that that was authentically you.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that was me.
We
So it's important that people are comfortable enough to be themselves. Is it hard? I know for on the business coaching,
Mhm.
it's hard sometimes to help people be genuine, to ask what they really want their customers to feel like. How hard is it to make that connection so some people don't like to take pictures or whatever. How do you get them to understand that and to participate and be energetic on the photo shoot
Yeah.
so they're getting the best version of themselves back in their photos?
So when I said earlier I'm a relationship person, I'm building this relationship before we get to this session, right? So that's the key thing I tell people. I don't I'm all about, go with the photographer that you love. But if you go with me, we're gonna be texting before, we're gonna be emailing before, and we're gonna build a relationship. So by the time you get to me, I'm gonna be saying, "How are your kids? How was work? How was school? How's your husband? How was the party you went to?" And as we're talking normally, you don't even know. I'm like, "Yeah, sit right there and act like you typing." I'm gonna ask you a question. You're gonna start smiling. I'm gonna snap.
Wow. So I guess that's two. So even if somebody's in another part of the country or another part of the world, they could be sizing up their photography like this
Yeah,
person ain't asked me nothing.
yes, yes. And
No questionnaire, no nothing.
always. And I had last summer I did there was a woman, she had a coaching program. And so she hired me to come and speak to all her clients, right? They were all over the country. I think there was actually a person overseas. And so I talked to them and I said, "Hey, I'm going to teach you what to bring to your shoot if you can't find a brand photographer in your area, right?" So I did this elaborate presentation. Some of those women have still emailed me after to say, "Hey, you gave me these tips. Do you know any photographers in the area?" And I am in a branding alumni group. So I found some folks in their area and they were already prepared for their shoot because I coached them beforehand.
Wonderful. So could you give the listeners today, just can we name three things? Can we, was one or, okay, one or two that what they should bring, what they should wear at a minimum, what should they bring?
At a minimum, if you are a service provider, right? If you're communicating with people via email, bring your computer, bring your iPad, bring your planners, right? Bring those type of things. When it comes to what to wear, hopefully a photographer has outfit options. If not, purchase an extra outfit option. You want something professional. If you're going into speaking engagements, you want to look that look in the photo so when people see, they're like, "Hey, I do want her or I do want him to come and speak because I remember the photo she had on this nice suit," right? And then you want your casual wear, you want a t-shirt, you want something comfortable so that people know, "Hey, this is also a regular person. She's not business all."
But then you have something to mix up in the social media feed
Right,
too.
right. You don't wanna
Yeah,
look
that's
professional
cool.
all day. And then you wanna bring, like, a little tidbit of you. So all of my followers know I love popcorn, I love donuts, I love treats. So, at one of my photo shoots, I bought, like, a cute little clear bowl, and I poured some popcorn in there. But I just wanted to show my personality and sprinkle that along the lines of who I am behind my business, and it builds a connection, and it's a conversation piece always to say, "Oh, I remember you like such and such popcorn. Have you tried this?" Those are some things you want to bring to the shoot. And you also want to remember, if you can, shoot at least once a year, right? Because our appearance
Mm.
change, our hair may change. We change a lot over the year. So at least once a year, get a brand photo shoot done.
Exactly. My last shoot, I was a little overdue
Okay.
because of COVID.
It's okay. It's okay.
I changed, weight change, hair change, everything.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed the planning process and being able to talk about what the vision of the next chapter of my business was. And one thing I like that we talked about is that you wanted to capture different facets of my process with
Mhm.
clients. Can you talk a little bit about that, about how that works?
Yulika, you just pulling it out of me, everything that I love. So all of my clients, when we first get on the phone, I'm saying, "Tell me your process from end to end," right? Tell me how you onboard a client. Tell me how you offboard a client, right? If you are sending them gift boxes, bring that gift box to the photo shoot. If you are sending them certain type of questionnaires, we're gonna do some working shots to make it look like you're sending out questionnaires. So as you're making that post on social media, "Hey, check your inbox today. I'm sending out questionnaires." You have something always to post.
Wow.
Yeah.
So back when we first started the social media game, you really didn't know what to post. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So I think even the branding photo shoot gives you some context
Yes.
of what to post.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to get all out on my stuff, but you'll see throughout the academy pictures of the photo shoot. And that wasn't my idea. That was a photographer, Sherkinna Hammond, that helped me to do that.
Yeah.
So tell us a funny story that's happened on a photo shoot.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. I don't know one in particular, but I will say people will come and they are so nervous, y'all. They be like,
Ooh.
They're like, "I know you talked me through, right?" And 10 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, how many pictures have we taken? We gotta change outfits, like, what's going on?" I've had people not come and bring their stuff. They don't have any props, they didn't bring a computer, they didn't bring a notebook, and what do? Because normally I shoot at co-working spaces for a lot of my
Mhm.
businesses. I go pull a notepad from this desk, pull this from here. I done created a whole scene for them because they've forgotten things. I'm trying to think. I've had people bring folks who just throw them off at a shoot. You know, they'll bring a family member or a friend and they are doing too much during the shoot and I can tell they are distracted. And so in that moment, I'll navigate to say, "Hey, y'all wait here really quick. We're gonna run over here and take some shots," just to get them calmed down. I had that happen a
Oh,
couple
wait.
weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So I heard you mention co-working space. So talk about location. So
Mhm.
like I'm in my office at home, but if they don't have an office or if they bake cakes, but they don't want people in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you're saying there are places where people can go to take the photos.
Yes, so you wanna look for, co-working spaces in your area, you wanna look for commercial kitchens that may allow rentals. I'm in Richmond, so we have Gather RVA here, but there's co-working spaces all over DC, wherever you are, just Google co-working space. Some of those you have to have a membership for, but if you have a good photographer, they already have the membership. In that case, that's
Mm.
included in your package. Well, all my brand clients, it's included in the package if they wanna shoot there. Um, if you don't, a lot of people do shoot in their home office. We can make home office look very nice, but if you don't have
Oh,
one,
wow.
um, you can look at the community center. If you're in a neighborhood where there's a HOA, there's normally like some type of community room there. I've shot there. If you're in an apartment complex, they have the same thing. You can also do an outdoor brand and shoot. I've done that before, and that was really fun because the person was very outdoorsy and they wanted their audience to know I like to be outside. So we shot downtown Richmond. We found some nice tables. We had computers out there, snacks, and she still used those photos a year and a half later.
Oh, wow. And I guess too, as an entrepreneur, you should demonstrate that we're mobile.
Mhm.
We can do our work from
Yep.
anywhere. I think that's awesome. So, Shakina, tell us how we can find you.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you hiding, girl? How do we get in contact with you?
I am on Instagram. My Instagram is at s.helena, HELENA_photography. I'm on Facebook as s.helena photography. I also have a website that is s.helenaphotography.com, and you can email me as well as s.helenaphotography@gmail.
And so, and we'll have all of that in the show notes, and we'll have ways for people to connect with you. But I'm so excited and so humbled that you joined
Thank
me.
you.
The Plan and Prosper Small Business Academy is about normal entrepreneurs. I know it's people on Instagram and Facebook that's stunting and tricking off stacks of cash, but these are normal entrepreneurs who are trying to find that. But look at she took a sip like it was shade. But I want to talk to people who are in the journey and who are helping people along the way. So I'm thankful for you that you're serving those entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You'll serve them at the million, but while we're on the way, you'll come and snap our picture. And so for that, I thank you, Shakina.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for joining us. Again, we'll have all of her information in the show notes. Do you have any special events or anything that's coming up that you want people to know about before we
Yes.
cut this off?
So, right now, I don't have any brand specials. I just finished minis, but if you get on my email list, you will catch those when they come out. Mother's Day is coming up, so I'm doing mommy and me sessions for those mothers. Whether you are a grown adult with your child being 40 years old, you still come and take pictures with your kids. And it's graduation time all across the country, so graduation sessions are also open.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, girl. I appreciate you. And come back again. Please tell us when we need to get our lives together. When we start looking busted on our social media, please come back and let us know and get us together.
Absolutely. You are so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.